What's happening, folks? Thanks for tuning in to MMAnerd.com. We actually have a website now that you can go to. Imagine that. I'm your host, Jody Smith. This is my running partner,
PJ Chu. What's up, MMA nerds?
We're going to be talking a little bit today about UFC 135. We're going to talk about some upcoming stars, and we're going to give you some UFC Live 6 predictions. So without further ado, let's do it, man.
All right, the main event, Bones Jones versus Rampage Jackson.
Fight of the night!
Fight of the night, but oh man, I wish Rampage could have roughed it out 5 rounds, but he got tired. He got choked out in the 4th round. He was looking good the first 3 rounds. I would say it was like 2 rounds to 1. In the beginning, he was looking all right. He was waiting for that knockout punch. I was hoping for that to connect with maybe a hook to Jones's jaw, but shoot, man, it was kind of scary how quickly Jones locked in that rear naked chokehold in the 4th round. It was like once he was on the ground, it was a wrap.
84.5-inch reach is pretty much like a fucking rolling around with a snake, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Jones is scary, man.
Unfortunately, our wishes of Rampage getting a knockout victory didn't come to fruition. That didn't quite materialize.
It's all good, as Rampage said. He's still getting drunk tonight. So, but what's next? What's next? Jones is gonna fight Rashad. That's gonna be a tough fight. Did you see him after the Rashad walked in the cage and Jones just walked right past him, dissed him? Oh man.
Yeah. I tell you what, man. After seeing the way Rashad showed up in his last fight, he looked amazing, and I think it's one hell of a fight. It's gonna be a tougher fight than what Jones had to deal with in Rampage.
I think the infamous Chael Sonnen said it best. I don't know if I agree with this, but he said Rashad Evans is the best light heavyweight ever, that he's ever seen. So that's
Chael Sonnen said that?
Yeah, he said that about Rashad. But
Chael Sonnen apparently says a whole lot of bullshit. So I don't know if we need to start believing him now.
Right. But what's next for Rampage? He says he wants to fight Shogun in Japan in February. He's got a love affair with Japan.
Provided Shogun gets past Dan Henderson.
He loves the Asian women. But
humps him like a dog.
Yeah, but. But Rampage, and there's another fight that maybe later on next year in 2012, King Mo, who's in Strikeforce right now, but Rampage called him King Ho.
Oh, whoa! King Ho.
King Ho, but that would be a good fight too. I think King Mo's got really good wrestling, so that would be a tough fight for Rampage. So
yeah. I don't know if Phil Davis has anything on the books, but that's another guy that's out there that could pose some threats. I know Alexander Gustafsson, who also trains with Phil Davis, has had a fight against Matt Yushchenko. But there are some guys, but man, Jones is going to be a tough test. But I tell you what, if he starts to feel cocky and thinks he can go up to the heavyweight division, I don't see it panning out as well. He's in the right division right now.
Well, I think maybe in 4 years after he gets on the man strength and grows up a little bit. He's only 24, man.
Jesus.
Imagine Anderson Silva's 37. Speaking about Anderson Silva, who do you think would win, Anderson Silva, Jones right now? Right now.
John Jones. I mean, I said it 4 fights ago when I saw John Jones that I wanted to see him fight Anderson Silva, and I at 205, man. I think.
Right?
Well, I tell you. I mean, from what we saw with what Chael Sonnen did against Silva, getting him down was a huge part of Chael's dominating those 4 rounds. And if Chael Sonnen could get him down, I'd be willing to bet you John Jones is going to flip his ass. And then it's a matter of John Jones. His learning curve. It's ridiculous. He's got his jiu-jitsu down now. He's just quite a specimen, man.
I agree, but I think right now
Anderson Silva.
Yeah, Anderson Silva wins. He's like the Muhammad Ali of MMA. He's
greatest
good.
Of all time.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Also on the fight, we had knockout of the night. Country Breakfast Matt Hughes got served a chin omelet, I believe, and by the hands of not our favorite guy, Koscheck.
Oh man, I was kind of sad because I was hoping Country Breakfast could pull out a win, but it was tough, man. Koscheck's he's a D-bag, but he's pretty good at fighting, I guess.
Oh, he damn sure is. There's no doubt about it. Who do you think Koss gets next, man?
I would like to see him fight Fitch, but that would never happen.
That ain't gonna happen. But Ellenberger is out there.
Yeah.
So is I believe Rick Story's out there as well. I believe.
Ellenberger would be great for Koscheck.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Ellenberger knock him the bug out.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll see what happens with Koscheck. Also, man, Nick Diaz and Takanori Gomi. Man, the little Diaz brother fucking pulled it out, didn't he?
Yeah, Nate Diaz looked great. Like
He did.
He stood up there and boxed with him, and
Yeah.
he dominated him from the opening bell to the end. Like
Yeah.
it was a dominating performance from Gomi. Who was a tough Japanese dude, and he just freaking, his reach. He was going jab, and just lacing up with punches and
taunting him by throwing his hands out, doing
yeah,
that Diaz shit.
Yeah, no, but
these fucking dudes are crazy, man.
But,
Stockton, motherfucker, Stockton.
209. But Gomi, he was getting laced up, so he went for the takedown, and that was a mistake. Diaz beautifully transitioned to his back, went for the triangle, and it was just beautiful jiu-jitsu. And leading lock triangle and squished it to an arm bar. It was a masterful performance by Diaz, and honestly, like they're both kind of like crazy, but like they got respect because at the end of the fight, he was like, "Oh, Gomi was one of my favorite fighters," So I got love for the Diaz bros, both Nick and Nate,
They're just batshit crazy, that's all.
They love smoking the ganja. Smoke it.
Also on the UFC 135 bill was a guy that I've been watching for ever since he won the Ultimate Fighter 13. And Tony Ferguson makes his debut at 155, breaking Aaron Riley's jaw. And I believe, if I remember right, I think he had a 76-inch reach for a guy that was a 5'10 or 5'11. So he had about 7 inches reach advantage on Aaron Riley. Man.
Dude, I know. That uppercut came from 10 feet away. He just came in and boom.
And don't forget, Tony Ferguson has wrestling.
Yeah,
to me, he's almost, with his power, he almost reminds me of almost like a little Dan Henderson. He's got like a lot of power. He's got wrestling. Be looking for Tony Ferguson at 155, man. I tell you what, I'd like to see Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz.
I don't think he's ready for Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz would own him.
I'm not going so far as to say that. I say give him a test, man.
I don't like Tony Ferguson. Did you watch Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, no, I know. He did it to my boy Charlie Rader. He was a dick to him, but I got to give it to the guy, man. He's a tough son of a bee.
Yeah. But, fuck him. But 2 other fights, Travis Brown.
Kind of a boring fight, but Travis Brown is 6'7", man.
Yeah, 6'7".
That's a big Hawaiian motherfucker right there.
It was
big dude.
Yeah,
didn't quite get the flying Superman punch that floored Stefan the Skyscraper Struve.
Yeah.
But hey, man, Brown is a force to be reckoned with. I think, man.
Yeah, I agree. It was a kind of whack fight though. It was like 2 chubby guys rolling around, but it was kind of stupid. But another 2 chubby guys was Mark Hunt fighting, and Mark Hunt looked good. But
Mark Manteets.
Yeah, moobs. But I love Mark Hunt. He's.
Did you say you love my cunt?
No, I love Mark Hunt.
Oh, Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt.
Oh, Mark Hunt. Okay.
Yes. And he looked great. He's got to work on his cardio, but this is a big guy.
Yeah.
It's tough, but
Definitely.
he's used to knocking people out.
Right.
He's a K1 champion. He fought Fedor. He's no joke, and looks like he his resurgence.
Right.
I would love to see him fight some nice. Maybe give him Matt Mitrione.
Mitrione is actually fighting big-ass Czech Congo, man. Ooh. So we'll see if the meatball can take care of him. I think his athleticism and speed could end up working over on Czech Congo. I think he could knock him out.
Dude, I don't know, man. After seeing Congo come back from Pat Barry's assault, I don't know.
Pat Barry will take that shit to the grave.
Yeah, no, dude.
God.
Yeah, no.
He'll be on his deathbed thinking, "Fuck! How did that happen?" Also wanted to touch on the battle on the Bayou down in New Orleans. My boy Jake Ellenberger, who I've been a fan of since he came to the UFC, with a serious win in knocking out Jake Shields. And I mean, Dan Henderson couldn't finish this guy, and Dan Henderson is the 205 champion in Strikeforce. So that is telling of the power that Jake Ellenberger has, and given that he's a wrestler as well, his cardio is on point. Jake Ellenberger is a force to be reckoned with, and I'm anxious to see, who he gets. People are talking about maybe the winner of Diaz-Penn. But he could also. We'll see what happens with Carlos Condit and GSP as well. So who knows what's next for Ellenberger? But
Jody,
he's a beast.
I got to give you props because you've been big on Ellenberger since day one, man. It's kind of weird. It was like man crush, kind of bromance with Ellenberger. But no, this he's legit,
Bad dude.
I would love to
He's
see him
young
fight.
too.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I would love to see him fight the winner of Penn Diaz. No, but the winner of Penn Diaz is gonna fight the winner of GSP Condit. So
right. Not sure where Jake. Yeah, where he falls.
But maybe we touched upon it before. Maybe Ellenberger will fight Koscheck.
Yeah.
Lay a smackdown on Koscheck.
That'd be awesome. Also, on a side note, the return of Alan Belcher, who looked really good in that fight, knocking out Jason the Athlete McDonald.
Yeah, he looked great. Belcher is. I'm happy for him because he's like gonna go blind or something.
Yeah,
like,
detached retina. That's
he's
fucking
like
scary.
MMA career's over.
Right.
But I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I would love to see him fight maybe the winner of Mayhem Bisping.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That'd be awesome.
But Bisping wants I want a title shot.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Bisping. Fucking stop whining.
But he's not gonna beat Mayhem because Mayhem's gonna bully beat down you, bro.
I hope so. I sure as hell hope so. Also want to talk about some up and coming stars. I think it's hard for me to not pick Rory McDonald after what he did to Nate Diaz. He's got Brian Ebersol coming. Brian Ebersol is so crazy, and he's had some great wins as of late. So that's a good fight, man. But man, Rory McDonald is so young and just so athletic, training with GSP out there. That kid's a fucking beast.
I agree, man. Ebersol, aka Arrow Man, the shaved arrow chest hair.
I think he should have he should have been an arrow down right his balls. That'd have been awesome. Be like, check that out, son.
Yeah, that would have been funny. But Ebersol's kind of a weirdo. But
not as weird as fucking Dennis Hallman walking in there when Ebersol laid a smackdown on him.
Yeah, with the blue Speedo.
Yeah. Dana White gave him like knockout of the night just because he was so happy to get fucking Hallman out of there. He's like, get this fucking weirdo out of here, man. What the hell?
Yeah, how Hallman came out of nowhere because he's a veteran and he just came out rocking the blue Speedo. It wasn't even a Speedo, it was like a G-string. His nuts came out like in the fight. They did. And but it was super weird.
It's a good thing at no point they got into a north-south position because he could have teabagged Ebersol. And then, can you imagine the arrow pointing out with Hallman's nuts on his face?
That's freaking super weird. Two fucking weirdos, but Ebersol versus I don't know. I'm just thinking about fucking
Hallman's nuts.
Right,
anyways, let's go on to some UFC Live 6 predictions, man.
Oh, shoot, man. Dominic Cruz versus Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson.
Dude, who do you got in that?
I gotta go with my boy Dominic Cruz, man.
If I'm betting, if I was a betting man, I would say that I would have to go with Cruz on that. I think it's one of the few times where Mighty Mouse won't have an enormous speed advantage.
Yeah.
I think he will have, if he has it, it's slight, and that's the difference.
I agree, and I heard Dominic Cruz preparing for this fight is actually dropping weight, and these guys are already not that big, so he's dropping weight to fight. He's getting ready for Mighty Mouse, and I think that's smart. He's got to keep up with that speed. I don't think he can take down Cruz.
Right.
And I think Cruz just is going to use his reach because Mighty Mouse is like 5'1", Cruz is like legit 5'8".
Right.
So.
Right.
That's kind of,
Plus, I've seen, not to say that Mighty Mouse isn't working his ass off, but I've seen some of the footage of Dominic Cruz in the gym. That guy's a fucking animal.
Yeah.
He's a fucking beast.
He's like running up hills with like weights on his back. I'm like, dude, you're a freaking beast. But Mighty Mouse is no joke, man. He's great. He laid a smackdown on Miguel Torres, and I didn't see that coming. And Miguel Torres got a reach advantage, so he overcame that. True. So who knows if he can overcome Cruz? But
we'll see.
As we talked about before, I would love to see a 125 division soon, flyweight.
Yeah.
Dana White says it's coming, but it's not here yet. I would love to see Mighty Mouse fight Joseph Benavidez.
Absolutely.
A.k.a. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I like that. Dude, also, man, the return of Anthony Rumble Johnson, who's got to be the biggest welterweight ever. He's just a monster. But fighting Charlie Brenneman, the Spaniard.
Oh, Spaniard.
With Spaniard coming off that huge win over Rick Story, man. I mean, stepping in last minute. I don't know, man. That's a hard fight to call.
I don't know. I think that's an easy fight for Rumble because.
Easy?
Yeah, because I think Charlie was a Cinderella story. You know, came on short notice.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's. You know, if they prepare for each other, you know, Rumble Johnson is like, dude is cuts from like 240 to like,
yeah.
like this guy is like massive. He comes in the cage like, you know, he's a huge dude, and
yeah.
And now he's working on his, you know, his last fight he was just wrestling people. So
right.
if he just smothers people with his like big ass body and he's got
tough
power.
Fight.
He's got power too.
Yeah, he does. Also, a rematch of the controversial first fight between Mac, your favorite fighter, Danzig, and Matt Wyman. Handsome Wyman. Man, that was the first fight. Definitely controversial. I think Wyman is gonna pull it out. Wyman's a tough dude. Danzig's great. I think it's gonna be a really good fight.
I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think Mac Danzig stepped his game up. Obviously, with that crazy knockout that he had in his last fight, but I gotta go with Wyman too. You know.
Oh, one last thing, man. Just some random fights that you're looking forward to that are coming up.
Okay. Nick Diaz, BJ Penn.
Yes.
Fucking, that's crazy. I don't think I even need to go into what happened. Basically, they're playing musical chairs, GSP, swap partners because Nick Diaz missed the press conference.
He got high and his agoraphobia set in, and he didn't want to leave the house. He was frightened.
He got stoned and he forgot about the press conference. But he's playing his Xbox. You know, it's like, oh, you're not fighting GSP anymore. He's like, oh. But
didn't he call the press thing a beauty pageant?
Yeah. I think he's just socially awkward. He's got
crazy dude.
Talented. Yeah, I love him though. You know, he's like, as he said, he's never missed a fight.
Right.
And but Dana White said if he beats Penn, he's gonna get the winner of GSP Condit. But I think
either of those guys would beat Diaz.
Yeah, I think GSP owns Condit too, right?
Owns.
Wrestles him down.
I think that he will to some degree, but I would look for Carlos Condit in the later rounds, you know, around 4 and 5, to start fighting with reckless abandon, which could put GSP in an interesting position. We'll see. Condit is an incredibly tough dude. He keeps proving me wrong. As of late, he's been knocking guys out left and right. His stand-up's gotten better. He could be a grinder. He's a tough dude. We'll see.
Sorry, man. I gotta disagree with you on that one. But I think GSP. I don't think he's gonna ever lose in 170. Maybe when he's like 40. But yeah. But I'm saying I don't like this guy's. He keeps on improving. This guy's GSP is the freaking just a beast.
He is. He's amazing. He's amazing.
And his style is like he just wrestles people now. Like he's not that crazy guy, so he doesn't take chances. We're not gonna see another Matt Serra knock him out. You know.
Right.
It's just, he's got a game plan, and he knows what he's got to do. And,
absolutely.
Can't hate on him for that.
I think there's so many fights. You got Shogun Henderson. We got the return of the Young Assassin versus J. Lau. Worst name ever. I mean, there's some, like we said, Roy McDonald, Brian Ebersol.
Right. And let's not
GSP
forget
Condit, freaking Diaz Penn. Matt Mitrione versus, you know, I mean,
Maynard Egger. Who wins that?
Dude,
I gotta go with Frankie Edgar, man.
I hope so, just because I don't really like Gray Maynard.
Yeah, he's a douche, but
he's a bad dude though. I mean, he's tough as hell.
Yeah, but I think Frankie Edgar comes back and beats him a la BJ Penn, Frankie Edgar too, because like he's fought him 3 times already. What? This is the second.
This will
be
the third time.
It's the end of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And I think he comes back and he just sticks and moves. You know, like he's too fast for him.
Yeah.
Like he's probably. Edgar probably should be fighting 145, and I would love to see him fight. Not to go on a tangent, but
Jose Aldo,
right?
Jesus Christ.
That would be crazy. And I think Frankie Edgar wins that one.
Oh, against Jose Aldo?
Yeah.
I think so. I think, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw when he started to fade when he was fighting Mark Hominick.
Right.
Hominick was able to take him down. Imagine what Frankie Edgar would do to him, man.
Man, I love Frankie Edgar, man, but
yeah.
He's not catching on with the mainstream because, like, he's too nice, you know?
Yeah.
You guys start doing some Chael Sonnen, like, talking shit about people or something, like, saying. But, the biggest fight I think coming up is Alistair Overeem versus Brock Lesnar.
Jesus.
Dude.
I never root for Brock Lesnar, but I gotta say I'm kind of pulling for him on this one just because of all the shit that he's been through. And I know Alistair Overeem job is your boy and all, but man, I gotta say I kind of want to see Brock pull it out over the Reem job.
Jody, you're boggling my mind, dude. Like, first he's like down with Diego Sanchez, Koscheck. Who's next, bro? Bisping?
Maybe so.
But,
I don't think so though.
But yeah, no. I would say it was a coin flip because like Brock Lesnar's got a huge advantage in wrestling, you know. But he's gotta watch out for that guillotine because he shoots in, you know, he might get caught in Overeem's like big ass arms, you know.
I know.
But I think Overeem wins, and I said it before, I'll say it again. Overeem will be your heavyweight champion in 2012. He will be fighting Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez would bust his ass. So will JDS. Shit.
Nah, bro. You're wrong, bro.
Oh, by the way, for those of you who have or have not been paying attention, PJ and I have been doing our predictions for fights, and for the Battle on the Bayou, he actually got swept. He went 0-6. And I think I'm still ahead of him at this point. Unfortunately, there isn't any moonshine for him to have to take a shot. But next episode, we'll be doing it.
I'll chug a beer or something.
Yeah, man. But anyway, shit. I guess that just about does it, man.
Yep.
This is our first official MMAnerd.com show. So thanks for tuning in. You can always check us out. PJ always puts up tons of updates, all kinds of good video.
Go to MMAnerd.com. You know, we'll be, you know, interesting stuff. You know, it's not just typical news. We'll take like, you know, cool fights from back in the day. You know, just weird stuff. We got nutrition tips, workout tips. You know, got some music up on there.
Yeah.
You know, so check it out. It's a good website.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch y'all next time. Who dat?
Peace. Go Bills. Go Eagles.